Hello, Lake Orion. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're facing this cold all right. And yeah, your bracket is looking okay. My name's Ian Witherspoon. I am the host, and I am between Taorminas.
You hear Madonna insulted
Shut up. Well, welcome to this week's edition of the show, where I think we should probably get started with some NASCAR. Is that what you said?
The NASCAR. You both would be great.
Yeah, let's talk NASCAR first on this huge March Madness weekend.
Uh-huh.
So they ran around the track.
You know the great young man from Rochester ended up.
Keselowski.
Yeah, he won the race this weekend.
Oh.
You know, the same guy that defended Rochester from people like Madonna, who actually I had the audacity to insult all three of us recently.
Really? Madonna insulted us?
Insulted us?
How? She seen the show? She seen the footage?
To what I heard from a couple people, she said that he's too loud, and he said that you're a bad host, and she said I was fat.
Madonna said that?
Oh boy. He's credible.
And I agreed with what she said about Rochester.
I disagreed.
Ooh.
You're a cold man.
Being a Lake Orion guy, I agree.
You're a cold man.
Just kidding. That's a joke.
You're a cold man.
It's a joke.
You're not going to have people going to attack us now because of what you just said.
That's all right.
You're going to have people attack us now.
Won't be the first time, Sam. All right. Well, we should talk about these brackets. Mine is doing great.
I'm doing okay.
Mine's doing
Final
great.
Four team.
Oops.
Who's
that team?
My Final Four, one of my Final Four is Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa.
Trying to be cute.
I lost a lot, too. I mean, I had Virginia go far.
Bet against Tom Izzo in March.
Yes, I did.
That was foolish.
Well,
hey, it was worse Ian Locke betted against his own alma mater.
That was very foolish.
I know.
Well, I mean, I'll start because of, there was a couple of memorable moments in the NCAA tournament. One memorable moment in the tournament was Ron Hunter, the Georgia State coach who used to coach at IUPUI. Sammy knows there's some history with Ron Hunter, especially at IUPUI. When I managed at Oakland, we'd always go against IUPUI, and Ron Hunter was the coach there, and he is responsible for Samaritan's Feet, which is a donation for which coaches will go barefooted, but also to have the opportunity for him to coach his son R.J. Hunter, and R.J. Hunter did some incredible things, not just in the Sun Belt tournament, eliminating Georgia Southern.
They eliminated Georgia Southern. Yeah,
and then,
I got a picture of Ron Hunter.
And then beating Baylor, R.J. shooting the shot, and Ron Hunter is a very, very charismatic coach, and he gets very, very emotional. So when they won the tournament, Ron Hunter broke his Achilles, and then Ron also went off of his chair after RJ made the shot, and then obviously them losing to Xavier, it was very tough seeing him cry. So I was very, very happy for Ron Hunter and the things that him and Georgia State were able to accomplish during the NCAA tournament.
You know, Ron Hunter, same thing. You know what I mean? Good guy, good coach. I mean, charismatic coach. One of my most impressive things in the tournament, Wichita State. Wichita State. They went and beat Kansas.
What's their coach's name again? Greg Marshall?
Greg Marshall.
Is that it?
Yep.
He ain't bad either, right?
He ain't bad either.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Kansas would never schedule Wichita State.
Only separated by 162 miles.
They're afraid to play them. Does that ring a bell? Cough, cough, Michigan.
Gee, you know what I told people to say in the NCAA tournament? Do not pick Villanova to win. And look because Villanova's had a history of losing in the round of 32 the last 4 years. And what happened to Villanova?
They lost in the round of 32.
Yep. And North Carolina State beat them. North Carolina State, I think they're gonna give people problems. I think they're gonna give Louisville some problems. Really do.
Louisville's an interesting team this year.
I know they're offensively challenged. They almost lost to UC Irvine by 2 points. They went and beat Northern Iowa by 13, and then
How about UCLA still being in?
how's UCLA still in this tournament? For goodness sakes, I guess
Spirit of John Wooden lives on.
I guess they called Steve Roberts, and Steve Roberts had put UCLA in the NCAA tournament.
What? Why are you saying that?
Because I think Steve Roberts had something to do with it, and Bill Reese had something to do with it. They motivated UCLA to get in the tournament, and also Bob Dowd had something to do with it.
So you're blaming.
And Eric Jennings had something to do with it. Bringing UCLA into the NCAA tournament. They went and beat SMU on a really bad controversial call, and they beat UAB pretty bad. But UCLA should not even be in the tournament. They should not. SMU should have been the team in the tournament, because had not been for a bad goaltending call, think about it. Larry Brown would have been in the Sweet 16. Sweet 16.
What about the one team? That one Michigan team, Michigan State. You and I talked about this not too long ago. Michigan State had a very, very winnable bracket. I remember when we previewed the NCAA tournament, we both said Michigan State had a very winnable bracket. And you look at that bracket now with Villanova going out and with Virginia going out. Michigan State's bracket pool just probably got easier, because you look at, they got Oklahoma coming up.
Tough team.
They're a tough team, but they can be beat.
They can be beat.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're probably looking at Louisville. And it's a very winnable. It's very winnable for Michigan State to get back into the Final Four. Wouldn't it be nice as a Michigander to see Michigan State back in the Final Four? As someone that has great respect for Tom Izzo, Drew Valentine, player that I managed at Oakland, is on their staff. Dane Fife, a Clarkstoner, is on their staff. Also coached at your favorite place, IPFW. And but you look at Michigan State, with the team they've had, the year they've had, it would be very rewarding to see them in the Final Four.
With Michigan State, they beat Virginia. Of course, Virginia was very similar to Wisconsin.
Yes, and I think playing Wisconsin
helped them. But also, to see what Michigan State can do, this was a team, they couldn't even beat Minnesota at home. They couldn't even beat Illinois at home.
Texas Southern.
They couldn't beat Texas Southern at home. They've been getting chastised by everybody. They're peaking at the right time. I just think when you look at Michigan State,
Trice and Dawson.
But the aura of Tom Izzo surrounds us all. You see, there's a reason why there's a thing called January, February, Izzo, April. There's a reason why. Izzo is it's tough to handle in March because of what he does in March.
And he has not disappointed so far. So what do we got? You got him moving on?
I got him moving on over Oklahoma.
They play the primetime game on Friday.
Yep.
10 o'clock or after 10.
I cannot stand Kentucky and Duke's jerseys. I hate them.
Why?
The white design that they have in the front of their jerseys and the last names in the back decked. And
Duke doesn't have that.
No, they do for this tournament.
Oh.
Not a fan.
Kentucky. Not a fan either.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you got State moving on?
Yes.
Face Louisville.
Yes.
You agree?
I think Michigan State has a great shot to make the Final Four. The other team that has a great shot to make Final Four is Duke.
You think State will get past Louisville?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Louisville has been a team to give State some trouble the past few years.
Yep.
They're going to conquer that.
I think Izzo will get by Patino.
That little rat. Rick Pitino. God almighty. All right. When we come back,
I'll talk about Final Four next week.
We'll talk about it next week, the tournament. But when we come back, we're going to talk about stuff.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Leanne from
from Talk Juicy.
Be sure to tune into our show.
Yes, for the latest on fashion, celebrity gossip, and girl talk.
Tune in Wednesdays nights at 6:30 p.m.
And Friday nights at 9 p.m.
on Comcast Channel 10
and AT&T Uverse Channel 99. And remember, always speak your truth and talk juicy.
All right, welcome back to the show where we're going to talk juicy.
Quiet, I'm calling him out in 2 weeks.
Just kidding, we're not
You're
talking
calling him out in 2 weeks? Yep. Why? Because my lint's up. Oh,
juicy.
yeah.
Call them out now.
No, I'm kidding. I'm on lint.
What would happen?
I don't want to know. It'd be bad.
Let's try it out. I want a little
No.
experiment.
No.
Hey, get off your lint.
No.
Come on, get off your lint.
No. I'm going to wait until my lint is off.
All right. Don't want to talk juicy. That's fine.
I'm going to call him out. Don't worry.
All right, all right. Well, what do we want to hear about right now? We want to hear some baseball talk because something big happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that was?
Miguel Cabrera played.
And?
Vimar
Vic
played.
Martinez played.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
And the Tigers still have pitching issues.
Here we go.
And they have bullpen issues.
Mm-hmm. Keep it coming.
And, of course, I can tell you there's a lot of reasons why that this team will not win the Central.
Here we go again.
Mm-hmm. Give me one reason why you think they can win the Central Division.
They can win or can't win.
Give me one reason why they can. Tell me.
If Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez have career seasons, and JD Martinez has another career season.
Do you respect this lineup?
No.
You don't respect
You
the
don't
lineup?
respect this lineup? No. Because Seth Smith's a streaky hitter. JD Martinez is a streaky hitter. You know what you're going to get from Cabrera and Vimar
Kinsler.
in Kinsler, but I don't trust in Iglesias. Iglesias' bat. I just don't trust, you know what I mean? This is a team.
Castellanos.
Castellanos has not gotten
He
better.
might have a big year.
No, he will not have a big year.
He was a rookie. He's 22 years
He's
old.
not going to have a big year.
Come on.
He ain't going to have a big year.
Are you kidding me?
Here's why I
You want to make a bet on that one?
No. You owe me dinner. So that's all I'm going to care about with the Pistons not making the playoffs. and then here's the thing. I'll tell you why. What will happen if they get on slumps?
What will happen?
What
They
will
will.
happen if they get on slumps?
You're going to
I
scream
read
and
an
cry?
article from Lindy's this week on
From what?
Lindy's magazine
Oh, okay.
for baseball
Sure.
previews.
Yes.
You're not going to believe who they have winning the Central.
The Indians.
They have the Chicago White Sox winning the division over the Tigers. They got the Tigers being a wild card team.
So they make the playoffs?
Yes. But they got the White Sox winning. Whatever happened to the Tigers being the standard bearers of the Central?
Nothing.
I don't know. They're still the standard bearers of the Central. They're still the team to beat in the Central.
It's hard to pick against Miguel Cabrera, against Victor, against David Price,
But here's why.
Verlander, hopefully.
I think the reason why Lindy's is doing it is because of Jeff Samardzija. Because
One
of all those
pitcher?
moves. All the moves Chicago made during the offseason is going to get Chicago. And let's not forget, Chicago's got a bullpen.
They got a
Kansas City has a good bullpen as well.
They got a good outfield.
Yes, they got a good outfield. They got a good. I mean, like, Hawk Harrelson will be happy
death of
to
me.
see you. You know, Hawk Harrelson, if you come on between Taorminas, I personally invite you to come on to BT.
If I walk in this studio
Bye.
and Hawk, put it on the board, Harrelson is sitting here,
Yep.
I will throw up where I'm standing. I will turn around. I'll get back in my car, and I'll go home.
You would go home.
I will go home.
Hawk Harrelson make a better host than you.
All right. So Lindy's gives no respect to
Right.
the Indians or the Royals either,
No.
which are decent teams.
Yes.
I mean, for
Do you
crying
think
out
the
loud,
Central
they,
is a better division this year?
Oh, by leaps and bounds.
You think so? You think the Central could be loaded?
I think it could be loaded because I think people are underappreciating the Twins as well. I think they have. I think they can just hit.
Still got a new manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No more Gardenhire.
Torrey Hunter's back. He's not going to do a lot, but he will provide veteran leadership.
Right.
And
Still got Joe Mauer.
they got young guys that can just absolutely hit the ball. So they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. It's going to be a tough division. Some are even saying potentially the best in baseball.
Maybe.
Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I do.
Well, the thing, all 5 of those teams are deserving to be in the American League playoffs. Unfortunately, only one wins the division. One team goes in the wild card.
Maybe.
So it could be interesting.
Maybe 2 teams from the division. I gotta believe that I'm gonna like this Tigers team. I think there's a lot of, not panic, but there's a lot of skepticism. But I'm liking, they're faster, they're better defensively, should be better on the base paths.
The bullpen's going to scare you.
The bullpen will always scare me, but I think they have some young arms that will contribute more than they did last year.
Joe Nathan scares me.
Joe Nathan, okay, all right. You wanna play a little game here?
Sure.
Let's take bets. Will Joe Nathan be a part of the Tigers team? Will he be on this team after May 15th?
No.
Do you think they'll cut him before May 15th?
Do
You think so?
Yes.
So then what's the problem?
Because he doesn't have the same velocity.
Right, so
He
then
needs to
if
have-
they're cutting that, isn't that a good thing?
Well, your closer in waiting is Bruce Rondon. He needs to be your closer.
Joaquin Soria.
You think Joaquin Soria? I think Bruce Rondon.
Yeah.
Because he's got a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
I'm just a little nervous about him staying injury-free, keeping control.
What would you both do if the Tigers re-sign Jose Valverde?
Grab his hand, jump off a very tall building,
Yeah.
and on the way down say, "See ya!"
Whee!
That would make me do bad things.
When have you been
I have
evil?
a feeling you might want them to sign Valverde just to see that, huh?
When have you ever done a bad thing?
Never. They haven't brought him back yet, though. What if they re-sign Joe Nathan after next year?
I would be devastated.
Yeah, that would be something.
I would be devastated.
What are you looking up?
What would the Tigers do if they bring this guy back?
Brother.
What would happen if the Tigers bring this guy back? Here he is.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God! You don't know who he is? Todd Jones.
Jimmy Buffett.
Todd Jones. Gee, that would scare me if he comes back and pitches for the Tigers.
What
That
about
would be
Phil
scary.
Koch? What about your boy
No.
Phil Koch, Sammy?
No, he had his last chance. He's now at the Cubs.
Cubs supposed to be better this year.
He'll give up at least 7 runs a game.
Is there a team in the National League you guys got your eyes on?
Besides Washington Nationals?
Yeah. Is that your team?
Yeah, because they got a very good deadly starting rotation.
Remember when the Tigers had a good rotation? What happened with that?
Gee,
They
think
never
Nebraska
did.
blew it up.
I'm going with the old school traditions, either the Giants or the Dodgers.
So one of the California teams.
Yep, the old school teams.
Will the
When
Cubs
when
come
they were in
back?
New York or Brooklyn?
Will the Cubs come back? I think the Cubs do have somebody coming back.
You think Cubs will be good?
I think the Cubs
They
will
have
be
a
okay.
freshman. They have a freshman or a young guy doing very well right now with the Cubs.
Yeah, but they're going to start the minors.
I think the Cubs are going to be a team to keep your eye on. You know who else intrigues me? Not really intrigues me, but everyone's writing them off. I think the Atlanta Braves might be decent. Decent.
They're not
And-
bad.
and I
Never
think
count
they-
out St. Louis Cardinals either.
No.
Nor the Pinstripes or the Red Sox Nation.
We're talking National League, not AL.
Oh, sorry.
You think the Pinstripes will be better this year?
No, I think New York is done.
Why?
I just don't think New York's that good.
They've got a killer bullpen.
Yeah, bullpen.
Andrew Miller,
Yep.
Dylan Betances.
Yep.
Yep.
But they got A-Royd.
They got Aroyd. He's back in black, baby. Okay. Any other teams real quick you want to touch on?
Keep an eye on the St. Louis is going to be consistent. Keep an eye on the Kansas City Royals. Bullpen. Their bullpen.
I'll be sure to tune into the Royals games after the 6th inning.
Yep.
All right, fine. When we come back, we have the last segment of the show. Stay tuned.
Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV. Hello, Lake Orion and Oakland County. This is Sammy Taormina here, talking a new show here called OA Now. We're going to talk about sports from football to basketball to volleyball to track and field to soccer, cross country, etc. here on OA Now on ONTV.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas for our third segment today, where I have no idea what we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about?
Well,
You want to talk hockey?
we can talk about hockey.
Okay, what do you have in mind? You had something else in mind?
Bonnie Davis actually asked the college to reinstate a player who sent an offensive tweet about her.
Ish.
Yeah. Not touching that one.
Anyways, the Stanley Cup playoffs are not too far on the horizon.
What do the Wings only have? 9 games left, or no? Is there more than that?
I think there's more.
Maybe it's 9 home games.
Well, the
Either way,
Detroit's
we're
falling
drawing
apart.
Near. No, they haven't.
They have not. They've beat the Blues.
Well, they
had
went
a
on a
bad-
bad losing
They
streak.
had a bad weekend in Florida.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Wings can never seem to beat the Florida Panthers. I'm sorry, Ian, but that just seems the case. The Wings can never beat the Florida Panthers.
What about Stevie Y's team, the Tampa Bay Lightning?
They're a good team. You know what I mean?
Lightning is actually pretty good.
You know, the Western Conference is absolutely crazy right now. I
I
mean,
agree.
there's still, you look at almost every team with the exception of the Arizona Coyotes, the Ponies, have a shot at still making the playoffs. It includes Dallas and Colorado.
Oilers.
Oh, the
That
Oilers are the
includes,
Ponies?
that includes both you and I. We still got a shot at the playoffs. Still got to win out, you know what I mean? But it ain't going to be easy.
You have to win out?
Got to win out.
Literally win every game?
Literally win every game.
How many games do you have left? Does it show games
Yep,
remaining?
yep. Colorado's got 11 games left. Dallas has got 10 games left. Both teams tied with 78 points.
And you think you got a shot to make the playoffs?
Oh, absolutely. Dallas got to go 9-0-1 to make the playoffs.
And you think there's a remote chance of that happening?
Oh, I think there is a chance that'll happen.
And
Colorado's
are you a
got
little
a-
more realistic here? Or?
It's going to be a tough task to make the playoffs. It really comes down to matchup. Even though I know the Avs play Calgary tonight.
Big game right there.
Yes, very big game.
Can you tell me what happened to your team, Ant? What happened
The
to your
West
team?
is good this year. The
good
reality
last
of it
year.
is, that the West, you got to look at teams like, and I said this before, Nashville got better, Calgary got better,
Vancouver got
and I really feel like my Avalanche kind of were a little bit stagnant. They lost a step or two when Stastny left for St. Louis. They got a little bit older, which, and also you go through a transition year or transition period when you have new players come into the program, and also injuries and transition period, and I think that impacted my Avalanche. And you got to give credit to the entire Western Conference too, because the Western Conference as a whole. It's a very unpredictable league or unpredictable conference. No offense to the East, but the East is fairly predictable. The West is a little bit more unpredictable because you got some very good teams in the West that are very, very dangerous. You've got teams like Anaheim. You got teams like St. Louis, Chicago, L.A. Even Minnesota, as much as I hate to say it, San Jose, Dallas, Colorado, Calgary. I mean, it's a revolving door, and only 8 teams can make the playoffs. And in the West, and it's very unfortunate because the West is a very, very competitive, very stacked conference.
You know, I noticed something. If some teams in the Eastern Conference were to play some of the teams in the Western Conference, half those teams not make the playoffs. Ottawa would be a team I don't think would not make the playoffs if they were in the Western Conference.
Teams surging to get in right now.
Yep, Florida would be a team who I think would not be a team that make the playoffs.
They're not in the playoffs right now, are they?
Florida's not in the playoffs. No, they got 80 points. But, you know, when you look at the division as it is right now, if half these teams that are playing in the Eastern Conference, if a team like the Pittsburgh Penguins were in the Western Conference, they wouldn't even make playoffs. Because I'll tell you why. Pittsburgh is not physical at all. They are not physical. You look at a team like the Washington Capitals, Alexander Ovechkin. If they were in the Western Conference, they would not make playoffs at all. A team I think that would make the playoffs, best Eastern Conference team that would make the playoffs, I would have to say the Detroit Red Wings.
Because we only did it 23 times in the Western Conference.
No, because here's why. You had the physicality to go in the Western Conference. You played in the Western Conference. Had experience in the Western Conference. I would think you'd probably be the best team if you put yourself in the Western Conference right now.
Not doing that again.
I think you would make the playoffs in the Western Conference.
I don't ever want to think about that again.
You know, it's very rarely he said the positive thing about the Wings.
It is very rare. I appreciate it.
But I would think personally, you know what I mean? Half of the teams in the Eastern Conference will not make the playoffs there in the Western Conference.
Okay.
I think the Western Conference is the better conference in the East. I really do.
Okay.
It's a tougher league. Tougher to win games in that conference. Heck, even if you put the Rangers and the Islanders in that division in the Western Conference, they will not win a game.
What about the Maple Leafs?
Baloney.
Toronto Maple Leafs
Oh, God.
would not win a game in the Western Conference.
All right. Speaking of Toronto, staying on hockey, rumors keep swirling
About Babcock leaving
about
for Toronto?
Babcock's going to Toronto. Calling your shot now. Is he a Red Wing or is he a Maple Leaf next year? Or other. A, B, C. Red Wing, Maple Leaf, other.
Why would he leave Detroit?
I don't know.
Why would
He's been
he
here.
leave Detroit?
He's been here a while.
Been here a while. But I think the money's too great for him. I think he's a Leaf.
You think he's a Leaf?
I think he's a Leaf.
I think he stays a Wing.
You think he stays a Wing?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he stays a Wing.
Well, I mean, even if he does leave, the Wings will still survive.
Oh, yeah, they'll be fine.
The Wings will still survive even if he leaves. I mean, it's the truth.
Coach from Grand Rapids will be promoted, and away we go.
Possibly. No promises there. They could find another high-priced coach who actually would consider the job. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Any other hockey news and notes you wanted to touch on?
Well, you know, big games coming up tonight. You know, playoff push coming up. You know,
Been pushing for a while now.
and push
I
for
want
a
to
little
bring
while.
up something real quick.
You know, LA could see two teams in 2016.
Oh,
Possible.
yeah?
Possible. Would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I want to bring up. My Golden Grizzlies had a great season this year with the way that they finished in the Horizon League. Obviously, the tournament didn't go. You know, the Horizon League tournament didn't go the way, or the CIT tournament didn't go the way that Grizzly fans had hoped for. But Oakland had a great season this year. You know, you go 11-5 in league, and it's quite an accomplishment, and I expect to see good things from Oakland next year. Hopefully an NCAA tournament bid. That'd be great. Valpo's going to be a tough cookie, but I think Oakland can get it done.
All right. I can't believe college basketball is pretty much over.
Almost done.
Isn't that insane?
Pretty soon we talk about college football soon, guys.
Holy
Syracuse released it. Got new orange jerseys. What? No.
Remind us not to give him a computer again.
Why? He likes it.
Just cruising the net, disrupting the show.
No, Syracuse releasing new orange jerseys.
All right.
Oh my God, they're awful. Call Kwame.
You call Kwame. All right, folks. That's all we have time for this evening. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you back next time around.